That was the most dramatic night of the Premier League season so far. I said it last night when you looked at those fixtures, and if you were underwhelmed by last night, what on earth was tonight going to have in store for you? Oh my God, for the neutral, it did not disappoint. But for us that might have a dog in this fight, aka me, you've got a very nervous man who will be making his way to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow. If you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. We're going to go through all of the games from tonight. What an unbelievable night of football. Starting off at the end, really, with Newcastle against Manchester United. Now, this one, other than Manchester United's kind of push for Champions League, wasn't maybe as consequential as some of the other games. But Newcastle got the win in the end. It's an unbelievable goal from Masula in the last minute of the game. An unbelievable goal. On the counter-attack, showed the energy and desire that he had to get forward to keep the ball in the first place as well. No one up with him. He just thinks, fuck it, I'm going to go and make this happen. And he does. And to the bend on that finish is absolutely crazy. Crazy into the corner past Lamons. It was a mental first half. Obviously, Newcastle took the lead through that 51st minute penalty, 6 minutes added on time after Jacob Ramsey was sent off. And now, guys, let me know what you think about the Jacob Ramsey red card, because I wasn't sure he was actually like appealing for it. Part of me thinks that he just loses his footing a little bit. He didn't have that too many complaints, but it was a really weird one. I mean, it's silly to dive if you did dive, if you're on a yellow in the way that he was. But it was a very strange one that just didn't look right, you know. But obviously, United had a couple of chances. Manu had that shot that was saved from Ramsdale. Ramsdale was brilliant tonight, from what I saw. Ramsdale made some massive, massive saves for Newcastle. One from Xerxes in the second half was good. I didn't think United did enough to win the game, to be honest. I thought Cunha had flashes here and there. They didn't create enough. I thought they were pretty passive. It just wasn't a great performance. And Newcastle, to be fair, to get the red card, then go and score straight away after. They had a couple of... Newcastle was certainly the better team, like the first 20-25 minutes as well. That's a massive win for Newcastle just to gain a bit of confidence back. But for United, again, a missed opportunity with Liverpool yesterday, dropping points. Aston Villa tonight getting spanked at home to Chelsea. Now, obviously, I wasn't actually watching this game, but obviously what I was watching it on, it kept flitting to the goals and stuff. And obviously, Villa took the lead very, very early on, and I've watched the highlights as well. And with Douglas Luiz, a good finish. João Pedro, hat-trick. Is that 14 goals in the Prem for him now this season? I could not really believe in the summer when there was so many people turning their nose up at that signing saying that it didn't make sense, I don't get it, and it's just another one that's not really a striker. It's like, well, he's a big game player that adds firepower to that Chelsea attack that can produce moments out of nothing. Like, I get that maybe Chelsea should have gone and signed like a proper number 9 or whatever, but João Pedro wasn't... I never got the feeling it was going to be like one of those Nkunku Felix signings. And I think that's what a lot of people thought it was going to be. The guy's quality. His second goal was a brilliant finish. A good ball into him by Enzo Fernandez. Villa at the back, like, so easy for Chelsea to get in that second half. I know they were 3-1 down, but that fourth goal, Garnacho just lays it on a plate for João Pedro. Palmer's one goes through a crowd. Really poor defending in terms of that defensive organisation for Villa for the first goal. The clip ball over the top. Like, the line is all over the place. It's an absolute mess. In terms of dealing with one of those cutback situations, it was so poor from Villa. And if we look into the stats, Villa generated 0.88 XG. Chelsea generated nearly 4. The XG gods, I mean, there's been a lot made about Villa and XG, hasn't there? Obviously, they had the offside goal of Watkins as well. Didn't really create that much, Aston Villa, in the game, and have been absolutely battered. And that's exactly what Chelsea needed after Sunday. And after the Leeds game, the Burnley game, when there's been questions about their character and not killing games off, etc., they made sure that didn't happen tonight. And full value for the win. A massive, massive win for Chelsea that puts them 3 points off Villa and Man United. And all of a sudden, it looks incredibly tight again. I said it a couple of weekends ago about Chelsea and Villa. I was like, do these two want top 4? Or do these two want Champions League? I know 5 teams will probably get Champions League. But now they're the ones, well, Chelsea are the ones that are taking advantage of Man United and Liverpool slipping up. So it's just all completely wide open again. And now we go to the top of the table. Arsenal winning away at Brighton. Now, this is the game that I watched mainly. Arsenal did very little. They did very, very little, and that's just not me, a bitter Spurs fan, saying that. Bukayo Saka's goal was one of the only shots they had on target in the whole game. And it was a deflected shot off Belieber that went straight through the arms of Verbruggen. They had 2 shots on target in the whole game. Brighton probably had the slightly better chances. Minter had a cutback. Raya had to make a save after Gabriel had to head one off the line after Raya made an error in the first 10 minutes of the game, or 5 minutes of the game. Brighton pushed and pushed and pushed. Brighton should have had a penalty. In my opinion, 100%. Martinelli on, I think it was on Kadioglu. Or no, it must have been Vifa. Or whoever it was, makes that run into the back post in the first half, at the end of the half. Martinelli is holding him the whole way, and nothing gets given. Arsenal, they saw the game out well, to be fair to them. Like they saw the game out well, to their credit, of course. And, you know, you have to give them the credit for that. But they did very little. And on another day, Brighton gets something out of that game. Because they should have had a penalty. And Arsenal did nothing, really. Like they did nothing. But again, you could say it's the thing of champions. They ground it out, and maybe that is true. But I thought they were average. I thought Gyökeres was dreadful. I thought Rice made a couple of mistakes, even though he sort of atoned for them. Brighton were just a better team. Like, they just were. And Arsenal kind of got away with it. I think a draw probably would have been a fair result. But Arsenal did, like I said, in the second half, kind of the last 20 minutes grind it out or so. But I thought they were poor tonight. Man City, Forest, eh? That pinball in the penalty area in the last minute of the game. What a block from Murillo. What a block from Murillo. Forest could have won it themselves as well. They had a corner with about 5 minutes to go. Ryan Yates headed it wide. What a strike from Elliot Anderson. You've got to say that. For the equalising goal. It's a brilliant goal. Good move from back to front for Forest. And the way that he walks onto it and wraps it in the bottom corner. It's an unbelievable finish, which has sent this relegation battle mental. And the title firmly in Arsenal's grasp now, arguably even one hand on it. 7 points clear. I know City have got a game in hand and they've got to play them. But Arsenal have got to... It's theirs to lose now, massively. Gibbs White, the way he took his goal as well. And this is what I mean. I've said it from a Spurs point of view. Like, the confidence that this Forest team are playing with, and West Ham, who will come on to as well, compared to Spurs, when you've got players trying back heels like that in the area. You've got players whipping one in the bottom corner like Elliot Anderson was. Spurs players have got to find that from somewhere. And it's wide open. I thought City should have had a penalty. Sells on Haaland. I also thought that, I think, was it Neco Williams was lucky, or whoever it was for Forest. Who was holding on to... Oh yeah, it must have been Neco Williams, I think. Or Cunha, maybe. Whoever was holding on to Haaland. I know Haaland chucks himself to the ground. But I feel like some of these forwards now they feel like they almost have to dive like that to go down. And then it looks theatrical, but it's like they're never going to get the penalty otherwise because the refs just aren't going to give it. But I did think the one on Sells was a penalty. Like, again, with what we've seen before, I think it's probably a pen. I didn't think the Rodri one was. Joe Hart kind of seemed adamant on commentary, but not. Look, Forest defended well. They might have rode their luck at times with decisions like that, but Gibbs White had a chance in the first half as well that he probably should have done a bit better with. And City, again, it's another one where on another day they win that, but it just didn't happen for them tonight. Bernardo Silva had a shot, brilliant save by Sells as well. But Forest had their moments too. And City, we keep saying it when they keep winning games away at Leeds. You think they are a team that can go on this crazy run, but you sort of always do feel like in the back of your mind there is a result with City round the corner that suggests otherwise, and that was tonight. But it's huge for Forest. And this relegation battle now, West Ham, 28 points. Forest, 28 points. Tottenham, 29 points. Oh my word. West Ham beat Fulham tonight. Crysencio Somerville with a goal. Fulham were really poor. I did think West Ham should have had a man sent off with Matheus Fernandes. I did think that... I wasn't massively convinced it was a foul, to be fair, for the second yellow, but if you're going to give the foul, you've got to give a second yellow. It's just hack down Josh King on the edge of the box if you've given a foul, if that's what you think. Fulham also had a penalty that was correctly then overturned back. It was a good decision from the VAR. Also, I thought West Ham could have had a penalty for handball and Iwobi in the first half, to be fair. West Ham deserved it. Took their chance when it came. A big mistake by Leno. Of course, he makes that against West Ham, not against Tottenham. But West Ham, they're playing well. They're playing with confidence. Another goal for Somerville. Their fans chanting, "We are staying up" at the end. It feels like they have got momentum. And as a Spurs fan, I'm incredibly worried. But this table, I mean, if you're sitting here as a neutral that's got no skin in the game or dog in the fight with the relegation battle and the title race, then, my God, this is going to be some end to the season. Spurs have got 10 games to save themselves, starting tomorrow night against Palace. It is absolutely going down to the wire. But it's such a big few weeks. It's such a big night of football. The biggest of the season so far. And it could have drastic consequences. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it for me. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow and Friday with more content. FA Cup obviously this weekend as well. Keeping an eye on that. And I'll see you very soon.